Hey everyone, welcome back to I Dream of Indie. Ole Gamer Joe coming at you today with another review. We are looking at DISTRAINT 2 on the PlayStation 4. It had previously been released on Steam. It is now available also on the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One as well. The PlayStation 4 version is priced at $8.99. It was published by Radalaika Games and developed by Jesse McConan. We've actually featured Jesse on our channel before. I thought the name looked a little bit familiar. His puzzle game Heal was featured in one of our reviews. And while DISTRAINT 2 does bear some similarities to that title in terms of gameplay, overall this is a far more psychological, horror-infused experience. So shame on me, I've never played the original DISTRAINT, but it is easy enough for anyone to jump into the sequel if they haven't, though I am going to go back and check it out at some point. But in DISTRAINT 2, you will take control of a character named Price, who is battling with a lot of inner demons. Not only did he make some pretty terrible choices to advance up the corporate ladder, he also is dealing with a lot of trauma from his childhood, as unfortunately his parents passed away at a pretty young age. Gameplay mostly takes place throughout his past, going through various areas that he either lived in or has some sort of an emotional attachment to. This is a 2D game, so you'll only be able to move to the left and the right, and you can also run by holding down the trigger button. You will need to solve some light puzzles in this title, picking up various items, usually bringing them from point A to point B. Nothing too intensive here in terms of puzzle solving. You will run into a few sliding or rotating puzzles as you progress throughout the journey, but for the most part, this is a game all about exploration. Most of the areas that you'll explore, however, aren't very large, and you'll be able to learn the layout of the land rather quickly. So not a lot in terms of gameplay here. Insert object A into object B, or solve the occasional puzzle, and just traverse the different areas, going door to door, finding the next area that will progress the story forward. Rather, the central focus of this title is its storytelling. It's really what drives your experience, and it's by far the strongest aspect of DISTRAINT 2, as I was very heavily invested into the emotions of this character and what was going to happen to him next. You'll come across a lot of your own feelings throughout the game, some of which he has suppressed over the years. And really, at its core, it's a game that's about overcoming those feelings and coming to peace with what has happened in your past. Make no mistake, however, while there are some uplifting moments scattered across the 3 to 4 hour game, you're going to run into a lot of heavy material here that can feel a little bit depressing at times for sure. It's definitely the story, however, that's going to keep you locked into the end. Graphically, DISTRAINT 2 does bring out a lot of emotions as well to go along with the story. It's a really great looking title, very dark and bleak of course, and the pixel art is fantastic. This is a classic example of a game that might not have the biggest budget, but a lot of love and care went into working with what the developer had. Great detail to the environments, and the creatures and characters that you'll come across are truly memorable and haunting. This is helped by atmospheric sound effects and a soundtrack that creeps up at what seems like the right moment each time. There's not a lot of what feels like musical compositions in this game. There are a few piano pieces scattered across, but for the most part the game relies on ambient sounds that really work well. I found the overall presentation of this title quite engaging, even though a few translation errors can take you out of the experience a little bit. It's unfortunate in a game all about closure, I wasn't able to complete the game due to a game-breaking bug. This was really disappointing because I was actually enjoying DISTRAINT 2 quite a bit and did want to see the ultimate conclusion of this character. But unfortunately, during an endgame chase scene, the game crashed on me, leaving me in a situation where I am stuck on the continue screen. Each time I try to continue now, I am booted back to the game's main title. And because the game gives you the option to save on these continue screens, I did, not knowing that the game would continually glitch over and over again. I can only hope the developer sorts this bug out so that I can finally complete the last few minutes of the title, because it definitely left me in a little bit of a weird spot with the game not getting that closure. That said, however, I can't completely hold it against DISTRAINT 2 because there's a lot to like about this title, and I'm not sure if this glitch is persistent in other versions of the game. I found the storyline to be very relatable, having experienced some of the things that this character has gone through, and I also really like the graphical style and sound design of this title. So this puts me in a weird position with DISTRAINT 2 because I really do want to recommend it to people despite the fact that it is a very heavy, harrowing experience. But I don't want anyone to run into a game-breaking bug and come back and yell at me. So that said, I would just be aware of that bug. Perhaps it won't be an issue for everyone out there. And again, I played on the PlayStation 4. Maybe it's not an issue on Switch or other platforms. That said, DISTRAINT 2 is an unforgettable title. I do wish that it gave me the closure that I was seeking though. So will you be checking out DISTRAINT 2? Let us know in the comments below, and if you have enjoyed our video coverage today, consider hitting the subscribe button so you can help us in our fight to bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming. There's a ton of other ways to support I Dream of Indie. We have a great Patreon page launched now where you can support us, as well as a Discord where you can chat along. However you end up supporting I Dream of Indie, we thank you so much for doing so.